Hey guys, it's Adam Grumbo. Today we're going to be talking about the Stella Pro. We're going to be looking at the Stella Pro Reflex S as well as the CLX10. I'm going to show you how they get shipped to you and which customizations that I make in order to utilize these to the best of their abilities for my personal setup. So let's start with the Stella Pro Reflex. Now what you're looking at here is the Stella Pro Studio. The Studio does not come with the battery grip. Here's the battery grip. The battery grip normally would attach here and allow you to use it as a handheld light. The Studio is a much cheaper version, and instead of the grip, it ships with a stand mount. And we also do not have the tungsten filter. It comes with this protector so it doesn't damage the LED inside. I just got to spin that and it comes right off. And it also includes the medium wide mount, which is this one. Now for me, I also purchased a spot mount, which is this one, which gives you that 12-degree spotlight that I was showing in the previous video. And I also didn't have the mount in the previous video. This mount is a little bit too large for my taste. So what I did was just went ahead and removed that. There's a screw here which allows you to take that off, and then there's a proprietary mount here which also sticks out a little bit too far, and so I thought I would remove that. Now this mount here is not the same mount that you would have on most of your light stands. This one would be the quarter 20. So what I ended up doing is buying a little tiny miniature ball mount, which I screw right onto the back, which allows me to keep as small of a light as possible. And the spotlight goes on there. So this is the full size of the light minus the battery power. If you get the Reflex S Studio, it comes with a very long USB-C power cable that is suitable for 100 watts as well as a 100-watt wall socket. And since I like using these for on-the-go shooting, I decided to opt for a battery bank. Now the battery banks, this is not sold by Stella Pro or Light in Motion. They sell the hand grip. Now in order to power the light, you need at least 45 watts of PD USB-C power. PD stands for power distribution, which it has right here. So if you get the one with the grip, then it comes with two sizes of cables, including the short one. Once you power on the battery, you get the logo on the LCD screen and you can start shooting. Now, if you are using the battery grip, you get the option to fire it up to 6,000 lumens. There it is. And I know it's being advertised at 9,000, but you can't do that with the 45-watt grip. And you cannot also do that with a 45-watt PD power bank like this one. But I like it because it's small and easily replaceable. These are the same ones that I use for my Canon R5Cs. So it works in the same way, it just doesn't work as a grip. So if you power on the battery, then you can power on the light. But again, we are still limited to 6,000 lumens because this is only a 45-watt battery bank. In order to get the full 9,000 lumens, you have to use 100 watts. Now the power plug that comes with the Studio is 100 watts. I also decided to pick up these, which are 100 watt output. If I plug it into here and the USB-C, I can get my 100 watts. Make sure it's in the middle one. Then the logo comes on, and now when I power this thing on, I can get all the way up to 9,000 lumens, which is ultra amazing light power. So when I use the Reflex, we're going to pretend this is a full-size light stand, even though it's not. We'll screw the ball head on, and then I let the battery bank, and this is the biggest battery bank that I could ever possibly want, in the bag that these often come with, and then just hang it on the light stand like that. So still very portable. It has all the power I need. These are the same battery banks that I use to charge my other batteries and my laptop. So multi-purpose, a lot on these. And of course you can trade these out whenever you want. If you wanted the smaller, the large size battery bank for a more reasonable size battery bank like this one. So it packs up incredibly small in the kit. And like I said, even with the larger battery banks, you are still about the size of a torch LED. Much longer, of course, but far skinnier. So with the small battery banks, that's when it's smaller than a torch. And with the larger ones, you know, you can get as big of a battery as you want to power these lights. Let's talk about the tungsten solution. Now, the ones that I tested out and finally decided on were these Tiffin ones. They're 55 millimeter, and you can find the full CTO as 85B. This one I haven't even opened yet. So, as you can see, as with normal filters, you have the metal ring upon it. And you have to get that off in order to make it fit within here, because this is a little bit too big. It's a little bit too big with the ring on it, so we got to take that off. Two ways to do it. You can have one of these filter kits. Now this bottom part is used to hold the filter in place. But this top part's used to remove it. The simpler way is just get yourself some toenail clippers and just clip that right off. But I'm going to show you how I did it with these things, since I've already got them. So there's two tiny little holes that go in here, which this is used to grip onto the inner ring. And then we're going to lock these in place. And then just give it a spin. All right. And again, this is a complicated way to do it. You might just want to grab a toenail clipper and clip the edge of the ring. And we no longer need this. Now we have a tungsten filter, which we can drop right into our modifier spot. And this screws right on. So that's what we get when we have this modified version and a battery bank. So it keeps it super small. It packs up really tiny, and that's the way I use it on a kit. And I've got 3 of these. Now for the CLX 10s. Now the CLX 10s come default like this, and you do get a power cable to charge up the battery, and this is the protector that goes on the front of the LED to make sure that it doesn't get damaged and to keep it waterproof. Well, water resistant. It's good in the rain. Now this is something that I recommend buying for wedding videographers. This is the Fresnel adapter, and the Fresnel makes it from a wide fill light into a tighter spotlight. This is about a 25-degree Fresnel, so it concentrates your light, so you can use it for toasting. Now, of course, the CLX 10 by default comes in daylight, but I highly recommend that you get the tungsten adapter as well. With the tungsten, then you have the ability to be bicolor. without sacrificing the power. So to switch the head, now this is something that I haven't seen any other lighting company do. Full power and allow you to switch the head for the LED. All you have to do is turn this knob, unscrew that, pop out the daylight, and pop in the tungsten. This goes back on and it locks. So it's very, very, very fast to switch colors. And for weddings, it's almost always on tungsten anyways, but it's great to have a daylight one nearby. So the things you would look forward to buying if you wanted to make the full kit would be the opposite color replacement head, and then the Fresnel adapter. You can also buy barn doors for it. I haven't found too much of a need for it at the moment. Now the barn doors, it can fit on the end of the Fresnel like this. That's not the ideal way to use it for this light. What you'd do is you'd adjust your accessory mount and put your barn doors on that, and then it would attach to it. You may or may not need the barn doors. I haven't used them yet. I bought them because I wanted the full kit, but that's also an optional accessory. Now you have to seriously consider getting the remote. Now Light in Motion doesn't have an app, but they do have a remote control. It's not the old school remote with a pop-out antenna like on the torches, thank goodness. This allows you to program 4 different groups, and I use those to adjust the intensity and to turn these things on and off. So when this is in the on position, then you can remotely control that and control the intensity up or down. And for weddings, I usually do 4 different groups, 1 for each of my lights. It makes it simple for doing toast lighting and dancing lighting. Well, I hope that makes sense, and I hope it explains some of the things that you might consider when going for something like a Light in Motion CLX10. Again, that would be the replacement head for the opposite color, and then the Fresnel, as well as perhaps a remote. And that's what I use in my kit. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. If I can do anything or answer any questions for you, please leave a comment down below, and I'll be as helpful as possible. Thank you so much for watching. If you thought this was interesting, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm going to be uploading a lot of these in the very near future. So thanks again for watching. See you guys soon.